Hey, what's going on, people? Tech Jamo. We out here with the Honda E 4 months later, 7,500 miles later. Boy, it's been a while that I've had this car now, and I just need to talk to you guys about some of the shortcomings, some things that are really still good with the car, and some things that kind of made me wish I didn't get it in the first place. So sit back and let's go. Alright, disclaimer, babes is on this shot, so if it looks dodgy, it's the babes. Anyway.
I'm actually quite good at this.
Okay, bring it to me. Okay, so guys, charging the car is it's simple, fam. So obviously this is my polar thing, don't know, and I'm gonna put that onto that thing over there. Got my charging cables. Now this is the Type 2 Menekes? I don't know, I can't remember how they pronounce it, but essentially it's these two to these two kind of things, so they kind of look the same. One goes in the car, one goes in the charger. Let's go get this thing plugged in. Right, so first of all, man has got to wake up this thing by tapping my key card.
Yep, connect vehicle to right socket.
There we go. Alright, so man's gonna connect the vehicle. I think this one goes
No,
this one.
Yes, that one goes in there.
This one goes in here,
yep.
As I knew. And now we're gonna pop the bonnet on the Honda. One thing I like about the Honda is that the button to pop the bonnet is right here. You can pop that open and boom. Some other cars, Zoe Renault, you actually have to go back into the car to press a button to unlock this. That's just long. Imagine me having to go back around there now. I barely fit out the car in the first place. Anyway, come closer, my lovely assistant. Watch me plug in the thing. And then boom. And that's it. What you'll do is you'll see a blue light, and the blue light means that it's charging. That it will come up and it will show how much charging time we've got remaining. So that's pretty much it. It's pretty much easy to charge, just plug and charge. Alright, so guys, the thing is on charge for free at Asda. You know how we do.
Cut those kilowatts.
Trying to cut those kilowatts, and now we're just walking home. But yeah, the charging.
Sorry for the heavy breathing.
Sorry for the heavy breathing in advance. But the charging situation is pretty much simple. Like, you either use your credit or debit cards, or you sign up for their scheme so that you get a bit of money off when you're charging your car, and that's it.
But it's free for the slow chargers.
But it's free, yeah. Most slow chargers are free. It's only really the what they call rapid chargers and the fast chargers that tend to charge you. Now, on the topic of charging, people are asking me how much does it cost to charge. Now, the Polar ChargeMaster chargers, from like 20% to 100%, cost me about £3, £3.20 or something like that. Now the Genie Point chargers, from the same 20 to 100%, even 20 to 90%,
£8.
straight £8 gone. So yeah, with Genie Point, fam, there are some chargers which I call them Gucci chargers, innit? Because I can't afford them things there.
No, afford it.
Can't afford them.
When you become an electric car driver, yeah, spending £8 is painful. You're like, why?
Painful.
Why am I spending that?
Alright, people, we're up the hill now, so let's talk about the range of the car. Now, for me, I don't know what they're talking about when they say 135 miles or 125 miles with the 16-inch rims. That's all gas. Let me tell you right now, summer or winter, that's all gas. Real life, I'm talking 90 to 100 miles. That's what you'll get. 90 to 100 miles. And it's not that bad because every percent that you lose is like a mile that you've lost, kind of thing. So if you've got 70% left, you've got roughly 65, 72 miles to go. So yeah, in that regard, it's not that bad, but for long distance, you're gonna be charging. And even to get that 100 miles range, 90 miles range, you've got to drive at 55 to 60 miles per hour constantly, yeah? 55, 60 miles per hour or less constantly. Don't be doing those 70 miles per hour because you'll find that you only get 60 miles range, yeah? Your percentage will go down like blam. No more percentage for you if you're trying to do 70 miles per hour. Also, if you're trying to use the heater, yeah? If you think, you got a fancy car, you want to use the heater, no. That will also cut your mileage down. When I say down, I mean dramatically. I'm not talking about a little 5-10 miles, yeah? I'm talking about 10-15 miles range gone. For example, I live in Gillingham, yeah? My mum's yard is in London, southeast London. So it's about 30 miles distance on the A2 motorway, yeah? If I'm at 100% and I drive 55, 60 miles per hour all the way down, I could potentially only lose 20%, 22%. Now, I'm out of breath. Now though, if I do the same journey, I'm at 100%, yeah? Gillingham to London, 30 miles, and I've got my air conditioner on, or I've got my heater on, and I'm doing 70 miles per hour for the first half of the motorway that's a national limit zone, easily lose 30 to 35%. Easily. So it's not even that deep when you think about it like that, but when you consider the fact that I might be in London with 40% battery left, thinking to myself, yo, can I make it? Yeah? So it's one of them ones there. When you're getting an electric car, they usually tell you that you'll lose more mileage in the winter. Now, if you're a Scrooge like me, and you just put on 5 coats, and you do the same journey that you're doing without turning on the heater, aircon, or without doing 70 miles per hour, I feel the range is still the same. So, all right, now let's talk about the Honda app. Just a disclaimer, when you're getting your Honda for the first time, make sure that the app is working before you leave that showroom, because mine wasn't working, and when I went back to the showroom, they didn't even know how to get it to work. And when I called Honda customer services, they told me the showroom should know how to get it to work. Anyway, 4 weeks later, a couple toing and froing, we realized it was this TCU thing, which is a SIM card in the car, which helps the car to communicate with the app. And yeah, now we got it working. Anyway, the app itself, it's pretty simplistic. You got your car locator, so you can click on that. And after like 30 seconds of loading, it takes so long to load. Right, it's finally loaded, like 40 seconds later, it just shows you a map of where your car is. And obviously you can click that and it will take you to Google Maps and it will pinpoint the location of your car for you to track it. Now, you've also got climate control, which is quite cool. So you can warm up the car or cool down the car before you get into it. I'm not sure what normal is. Is that you just normalize the temperature in the car? I'm not too sure. But anyway, you can do that. Now, there's no temperature on this, so I'm assuming that it uses the last temperature you set in the car when you was last driving it. You've also got this little button down here to unlock your car doors or lock them if you've forgotten to unlock it. And then you've got your charging status here. Now, I've got my car on a 7 kilowatt charger. It was at 10% when I left it, and now it's saying 4 hours and 38 minutes to get that charged. So it will let me know and give me a notification when it's at 95% to let me know that it's nearly finished charging. Then in here, you got a couple more options. You can set the name of the vehicle, give it a nickname, the license plate. You can invite drivers to unlock your car. So for example, my partner now, essentially it's supposed to be if I send her an invitation, she can use that invitation to unlock my car. However, it just never worked. So yeah, right, okay. Vehicle health checks, so when you get your car serviced, they'll put the reports here. Subscriptions, these are just the services that the app offers. So safety and journey is the GPS data and stuff like that, and core connectivity, all that kind of stuff there. And you got Honda Personal Assistant, which I didn't really get because from what I understand, it's essentially Google Maps or Google Assistant, which I already use in Android Auto. Then you got charge settings. So let's say, for example, your energy provider at home gives you a cheaper charging rate at nighttime. You can plug your car in during the day and only set it to charge during the night so that you get the most charging for your money. Then you've got climate settings, which is the same thing with a schedule. You can set the car to start warming itself up or cooling itself down at a certain time of day. So for example, when I go squash and I finish at 10 o'clock at night and it's freezing in the car, I can set the car to start warming up from about 9:30 to start doing its thing. And this actually works quite well. I'm quite pleased with that. You can set it to warm up for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or 30 minutes before your departure. I find that obviously the battery doesn't really get affected that much by this preheating. So I just always leave it on 30. But it's nice that you have the options there as well. And like I said, there's no specific temperature, which would have made sense to me, but you can just choose colder, normal, or warmer. warmer than what, colder than what, normal, I don't know. But yeah, that's about it for the app. It's pretty simplistic. It does work. It just takes a long time to load. Like, for example, you saw that car locator section took like 40 seconds to load. And then you got some other status stuff there. Oh yeah, also you got vehicle security. So it shows you that all the windows, doors and everything is locked. However, sometimes it glitches out and it tells you that everything is open. So for example, right now I've left my car in Asda, which is like a 20-minute walk from where I am now. And it told me that everything is open. And I know I locked the car, so I'm kind of sitting here with anxiety, hoping that it reloads itself and updates the fact that the car is locked, or somebody is breaking into my car as it's charging right now. Next up is the cameras. The cameras are still really good. They're best when the car is in perfect driving conditions. Now, the two side mirror cameras are the strongest cameras, nighttime or daytime. The rear view camera, I would say, is the weakest camera. Because it's inside the car, if the rear window gets fogged up, so does the camera. And you can't see anything until you obviously defog the rear window. Nighttime, I just feel that the rear view camera is completely useless, and yeah, it's just not all that. Now, as you can see, I'm about to drive through quite a tight spot, and I'll just show you what happens as I line myself up through it and drive through it. You see how it automatically comes up and it shows me that there are issues on either side of the car. Now, if I press the little button on this right hand side here, this camera button, what happens is it shows me this view here, so I can literally see either side of the car and how close I am to the walls. So I can literally get out of places using the camera. It's crazy. I never thought I'd be using a camera or trusting a camera, but it's very good on this car. Now, one thing that I still use to this day is the one pedal driving, which you can press by pressing the button down here. Now, fam, this mode is just legit. It's brilliant for city driving. It's just, I just don't believe every car doesn't have this. It just makes so much sense. No more dancing between the brake and the accelerator. If you let your foot off the brake, this will grind to a halt. Not in a scary kind of emergency stopping kind of way, but it will gradually come to a stop, which is brilliant for city driving. Another thing people are asking me is, how does the cruise control lane assist kind of thing work? And it works very well, to be honest. So what happens is I press these two buttons down here, one for lane assist and one for adaptive cruise control or cruise control, whatever. And as soon as I've done that, what the car will now do is it will just keep at the speed you've asked it to, and it will also keep itself in lane. But what it does is every 5, or I'd say every 10 to 15 seconds, it will start beeping me to let me know that I need to keep my hands on the wheel. So yeah, the adaptive cruise control and the lane assist is really good. It's just that you need to know the limitations of it, i.e. it will not slow you down for corners. It will realize that there are cars in front of you and it will match the speed of that car. But let's say a car goes across you sideways, it won't realize that there's a car in front of you, because it only realizes the back of cars with the tail plates or the tail lights, I'm assuming. It won't realize that a car is kind of cutting across you, like that kind of thing. Or like, let's say if it was coming out of a junction and it was just waiting in the middle of the road, it finds it very hard to recognize that that's a car. So be aware, it does recognize that cars are in front, but only if the car is facing rear to you kind of thing, as per normal, like this. Now, if we're discussing the outside of the car, yet again, in 4 months, I've really not had any issues. The only issue that I've had is like the rear tire went flat. It had like a slow puncture. And once I got the puncture repaired, I didn't know how to reset the thing on the dashboard, but I'll show you guys that later. But yeah, apart from that, no issues with the outside of the car. Everything is all cool there. buttons, everything is still working essentially. Whew, all right, so yeah, that's about everything on the car, guys. Like all the issues, all the good things. I haven't really showed you the infotainment system because I've done a big massive video about that already, which you can get to from the link in the description section below. Like, that's all fine, it's all working. Couple things that aren't working though is on the infotainment system, there's supposed to be a Wi-Fi hotspot which uses the car's built-in SIM card. That's not working. I've tried it on my phone, I've tried it on a tablet, I've tried it on my mum's iPad Pro, fam. It's just not working, and I think it's a situation where you need to get into an area with really good internet connection, or good Vodafone signal for it to work. So I've tried that, still not working. I'm not too sure. Honda customer services are still in the process of helping me out with that one. Another issue I haven't mentioned is that when the car windows get foggy, as cars normally do when you're hot inside and it's cold outside, I have to obviously demist that with the heating, and the heating obviously takes my range all the way down. So it's a bit of a balance of, do I demist the windows or do I want the extra range? So also, there's no automatic lock-in when you walk away from the car. Now, if I press the unlock button and I unlock the car but I don't open the doors, it will lock automatically within like 15 seconds. However, if I unlock the car and I open the doors and I walk away from the car won't automatically lock itself. So I'm quite confused that the car unlocks itself on approaching but doesn't lock itself on me walking away, unlike the Renault Zoe, which both unlocks itself and locks itself as you approach and walk away. Last but not least, I've actually got a subwoofer fitted inside the car. Now the subwoofer runs off the car's secondary battery, the little small 9-volt battery which is in the front of the car, just like it would any normal car. And honestly, on longer journeys, shorter journeys, I have not noticed any more battery drain when I've literally got the music full volume and it's pumping hard. So yeah, don't be worried about any subwoofer or anything like that running down your car's battery prematurely. The range is still good. Another thing that I just remembered is the heating steering wheel. It is quite a decent feature. I think it's more of a gimmick than anything because it only heats this side and this side of the steering wheel. So you have to be holding it at, what is that, quarter to 3? Quarter to 4. Have to be holding it at either side essentially. So it doesn't heat the whole steering wheel. Which is, I guess, where you're supposed to be holding the steering wheel. But for me, I kind of hold it towards the bottom here, which still remains cold. So yeah, it's a nice heated feature, but it's a bit pointless. And especially because I got my ugly steering wheel cover, it doesn't heat through that, obviously. Anyway, guys, it's about time I wrap this up. We've been going at this for a while now. Now, there are a couple of things that I haven't mentioned, like the whole interior of the car, the buttons and everything like that. But I haven't mentioned them because they've just been working effortlessly, exponentially, fam. You get me? Like, I've only tried to zone in on the things that I didn't know when first purchasing the car, i.e. that the Honda E app is a bit dodgy, the range is not what they said it was, the charging situation, even though it's going to be the same for every electric car, is just a mad thing, unless you get used to it, kind of thing. So these are things that I've got used to over the course of 4 months and 7,500 miles. But all in all, I still love the car, fam. Like the HDMI thing, playing video games in the car while it's charging, it just takes all the stress out of charging, fam. Because I'm a video gamer. Other people might want to watch Amazon Fire, and you can do that whilst the car is charging. There's so many things you can do while the car is charging. Bear in mind, it does take a little bit longer. It might add a bit, like 10 minutes to your charging time, but it's still a possibility if you're going to be charging in this car all the time, which you are, because it hardly has any range. Dunno. Hope this helped. If it did, leave a little comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell, people. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bless out.